Welcome to another episode of Experience Annex. Experience Annex, as you already know, is a platform for exemplary leaders, legendary entrepreneurs, and world-class professionals to share their wisdom with the world. By sharing, they make the world a better place. We are excited to have Mr. Lere Baale, the Managing Director and CEO of Business School Netherlands, on Experience Annex today. The man we like to call LB, welcome to Experience Annex.
Thank you.
What really makes LB tick? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I was born to a very lovely family of an high chief and a prince, Samuel Lere Baale and Mrs. Felicia Oshibogan Baale. A few years ago, I schooled in Ahmadu Bello University and had my postgraduate in University of Lagos. I joined Pfizer in 1981, and from there I rose through the ranks, starting as a management trainee from the lowest level. I became a regional director for East, Central, and West Africa. Left Pfizer in 2006. Moved from there to set up House Consulting in conjunction with the Center for Management and Organizational Effectiveness US, where I'm currently the regional president for Middle East African region. I worked first like an action learning coach and set advisor for Business School Netherlands since 2003, which I was doing like a part-time when I was in Pfizer. I eventually joined the board in 2008, and ever since I have provided leadership as the CEO for BSN since 2008, moving the business from about 98 members of the community in 2008 to over 1,600 today, with about 600 graduates of having their MBA. That's the summary of I can share my background so far.
Yes, I know that you are one of the very few action learning professionals in West Africa. Can you share that? What is action learning all about?
Action learning is about a pragmatic, practical-oriented learning process. In the olden days, the traditional learning platform emphasizes in-class learning. About 70% in-class learning, 20% through coaching on the job, and about 10% experiential, your own personal experience. Action learning is turning it the other way around and saying, let people learn based on their experience, based on the actions they take on the job, and then let the class learning be the 10%, let the 20% coaching continue, and let 70% of the learning takes place through practical orientation. So what you learn, if you take a decision and you fail, you learn from the failure. If you take a decision and you succeeded, you learn from the success. So there can be a continuous learning on a daily basis. So it is based on the philosophy of a Chinese philosopher called Confucius. That say, what I hear, I easily forget. What I see, I begin to remember. What I do, I begin to understand. And what I teach or what I coach other people, I begin to master. So action learning is a pragmatic, experiential, practical-oriented way of improving learning process, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think let's go back to your childhood. Yes, okay. Your upbringing.
Okay.
You once mentioned that you were brought up by reverend fathers, reverend sisters, and you are from a polygamous family somehow. Yeah. I think it's something that viewers there would like to know about.
Okay.
This,
I'm from a polygamous family, but it's a single family, and you cannot differentiate one mother from the other. The mothers are mothers of everybody, and I virtually live with any one of them just like the kids of the other women live with my own mom without anything. My father was able to bring all of us together under one roof. I was able to promote love among all of us. So we are our brothers and sisters keepers. And as I was in primary school, I was raised as a Catholic, and therefore I was an altar server, what is very, very, very well known in the Catholic Church. I was president of Legion of Mary in my secondary school, and therefore I lived with the Reverend Sister, who was principal of the school. I also lived during the holidays with the Reverend Father, who was principal of the school, and the Reverend Sister participated in paying my fees in my secondary school, in my A-levels, and in my university. And it was when I got to the university towards the end of my course that I got scholarship. And so my life has been tremendously touched by the goodwill of these people, where the Reverend Fathers and the Reverend Sisters, who play a very key role in bringing me up. And I'm eternally grateful to them.
All right, so Reverend Father, Reverend Sisters, the Catholic Church, you say you were even a mass server.
That's correct.
As a great help.
That's correct.
That's great. That's very, very exciting. Yeah. Okay, let's just go further to your career. Okay. I know you are a pharmacist by training,
yes, correct.
Profession, but you became a marketing director at Pfizer.
That's correct.
I mean, the tremendous, this one is science, this one is art.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Pfizer has a way of looking for best talents in the world. And when you are picked up, Pfizer will look at your profile and identify what you are good at or what you desire to build yourself, what you want to build yourself around. And I think in the early part, they identified that I had some core talent in salesmanship. I was there, even though I started in the manufacturing unit, I was coached, trained, and exposed to a lot of activities, and I ended up in sales, eventually promoted to marketing, and eventually had to head marketing as a marketing director. I was head of strategy as a strategy director. I eventually became the head of marketing and strategy across the East, Central, and West African region. Made up of about 32 countries, and that regional director for marketing and strategy was my last role. So even though I was a pharmacist, it is the exposure from Pfizer. And Pfizer also gave me an opportunity. I went back to school to have my MBA in 1983, and that helped me to be able to.
Was it in marketing?
The MBA we were doing that time was not specialized. It was an MBA for general, and so we were exposed to all the basic subjects like finance, marketing, HR, and co, operations, information management, and so. But by my practice, because I was practicing marketing, so I was able to build my core competence in marketing first, and then eventually in strategy. And then by the time I became a senior leader, I mean, the time I played senior leadership role in Pfizer, that built my leadership skill. But Pfizer also sent me for a number of executive programs in Harvard, in Columbia University, in IMD, and a couple of different organizations in Europe and institutions in Europe and US.
So, I'm very, very interested to know more about that. Because no one would know unless you open your mouth to tell somebody that you are a pharmacist. Because you are a professor, associate professor in marketing, you are running business coordinators. What was the role? Or were you mentored somehow? Did you have mentors? Can you share how you were mentored?
Of course, at different times in the course of my career, I was mentored by different people. One of my greatest mentors is Mr. Robert Study, who happens to be the divisional manager for Pfizer when I joined Pfizer in 1981. He's a Nigerian, and he was head of sales, marketing, training. He was head of pharma, and he was able to discuss marketing in a very creative way. I was very inspired. I was also inspired by another boss called J.K. Additional, who mentored me physically in marketing. It was another person called Laito Dushote, who actually deliberately encouraged me to go back to school to do my MBA. He was head of marketing research. Along the line, I started to report to Mr. Sam Ohabua. He was one who mentored me in the area of sales. And I got a number of different mentorship on leadership especially. I was mentored by Prince Julius Adelui. And
He was also in Pfizer?
yes, he used to be in Pfizer, but I didn't meet him in Pfizer. But as somebody who happens to be a pharmacist and was the president of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, a giant in his own, I was able to stand on his shoulders to understand and appreciate the opportunities and the capabilities of pharmacy. But somebody like him, he was a pharmacist who turned around to be a lawyer. And so he was able to inspire me to say, okay, I could be anything I desire to be if I have it as a dream and I can work hard on it. And so I have several mentors, but I would never forget the foundational mentors in the person of Reverend Sister Margaret, in the person of Reverend Father Comboy. Father Comboy. Yes, he's an Irish. Yes, who mentored me when I was in secondary school and who inspired me to be able to give my best and to focus on excellence in whatever I do in life and to try to maintain, to be at peace with my conscience, no matter whatever decision, whatever thing I want to do in life. So those people, they play very key role in building me up.
I'm interested in that. How did the Reverend Father talk to you? Did he, really sat you down or is it during the church prayer, sermon or something?
Because the Reverend Father was also the principal of the school for a year. I was relating to him almost on a daily basis. I was the school janitor. I was the school security officer. I was the Form 5 class, prep supervisor. So I have to relate to the principal almost on a daily basis because of the school security, because of the janitorial role. And the reference sister, because during the days I stayed with her. And then she was principal as well in my Form 1 to 4. So they were able to play a key role in terms of counseling me and talking to me almost.
I see that you are not a very huge giant.
That's
How did you become the head of security?
The school was much more concerned about character. So that was what inspired them to actually allow me to play key leadership role. And so
it's not just security, it's leadership.
It is leadership. I was exposed to leadership. That's good.
Character is very key.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about, you are now the CEO of Business School Netherlands. One of the foremost, in fact, ranking shoulder to shoulder with Lagos Business School.
Yes, please.
In terms of prestige, in terms of the alumni members you take. Can you talk a little bit about Business School Netherlands?
The Business School Netherlands was founded 30 years ago, or 31 years ago now, in 1988, by a man called Professor Dick Jessing, who was head of manpower development for a multinational in the Netherlands, and realized that people go for courses when they are back. If they don't implement what they need to do within the shortest possible time, they literally forget it. And so he came to the conclusion and said, we need to build a system of executive program that allow people to go to an academic institution to learn and then come back and apply whatever they have learned. So it is in his desire to increase applied knowledge that led to the concept of imbibing, the action learning methodology, which is basically practical application of your knowledge, immediately information learning, that led to building a curriculum. And we have been able to produce over 5,000 graduates worldwide. We are in over 16 countries. We are in virtually all the continents of the world, in Asia, in Europe, in America, as well as in Africa. And we have succeeded. We are the first to be accredited by the world, the first MBA school to be accredited by the World Institute of Action Learning as a truly a practical, pragmatic, practical-oriented, experiential action learning school. And we have also been accredited by the ABSB, American Business School Program, which is a global accreditation that enables us to have good accreditation like any of the leading and earlier American business schools. So, and this has given us, we have accreditation as well, the highest level of accreditation in Europe as well as in America, and that has given us a lot of leverage. Number of our students have also succeeded in a number of things. We have a couple of accreditations from America, from Europe. We are accredited by the American Business School Council for Business School program, which is one of the highest accreditations one could have for a business school. We also accredited by Anthea in Europe. It did first to be accredited as a business school by the World Institute of Action Learning. And we have a lot of pride in the fact that we are present in virtually all the continents of the world. And we have rolled out over 5,000.
That is business school in the Netherlands?
Correct.
It's present in how many countries?
In over 16 countries.
16?
Yes, please.
16 countries?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you have graduated, or the community, the business school in the Netherlands community in Nigeria.
Correct. We have over 1,500 membership, and we have graduated close to about 600 graduates already. In the last 10 years, we have graduated about 600. And some of them are now head of government parastatals. The school administrator, for example, for Ajakuta still only means a graduate of our school. We have somebody like Mr. Kaba. We have somebody like Mr. Tomasetu, who is the chairman of Veritas Group, and also the one who is the anchor person for Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. Is also a graduate of our school. We have graduates of our school, IMDs of oil and gas companies, etc. So we have them in virtually all the major industries.
All right, so and then you are now, it's like you are moving from MBA, you are now doing DBA.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So what would be the qualification for somebody to either for the MBA or for the DBA?
For the MBA, we expect people to have a minimum of first degree and to have worked for some years, so as to have real experience, because without the experience, it's an executive MBA. So it is necessary that people should have experience before they come to class. For the DBA, we expect that people will have an MBA or have a minimum of master's degree in any of the business admin courses, like marketing, operations, or things like that. Those are the things we expect before people come in. And people must have real problem that you want to solve in the society, because we are going to be engaging you in terms of the topic and what you really want to add as value to society for the project. The DBA is more practical project oriented. The MBA is a mix of academics and practical projects. The DBA is also has its own academic asset, but we want people to actually use their DBA to solve organization and societal problems.
So the name of the school is Business School Netherlands Nigeria. That is the Nigerian arm?
No, the Nigeria is a study center. So the name of the school is Business School Netherlands. It's an arm of University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. So the university itself is University of Applied Sciences in the Dutch University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. And then we have a business school that focuses mainly on MBA. And that business school is called Business School Netherlands. And so, a Nigerian center is just a study center. We are not, so we just bring students together, and the lecturers come all the way from Netherlands for the purpose of building skills, knowledge, and growing them. And then eventually they are subjected to the rigors of tests, projects, viva, and everything by the lecturers and facilitators, as well as the examiners that come from the Netherlands. We are not a university in Nigeria. We are just aggregating the students together for the purpose of facilitators coming to help them.
So they come all the way from Netherlands?
They come all the way from Europe. That's correct.
So you obviously, I know you for, I've known you for at least 5 years now, it's not more than that. And you are one of the most, I would say one of the most respected leaders in Nigeria today. You are not a politician.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so what are the primary ingredients for exemplary leadership?
One of the things I learned as the primary ingredients for leadership, I picked up from a number of mentors. But one of the things that I have found out on leadership is that one, a leader must be agile. He must demonstrate leadership on a daily basis. He must inspire the people that he works with. And he must be able to have ideas or strategy in place to transform the organization that he or she heads or that is part of leadership. And I picked up most of these things from the chairman of Business School Netherlands in Nigeria, Mr. Ayo Dili Adeniwale. He has been a great inspiration to me. I also know that leadership is supposed to be able to have what I call opportunity to demonstrate leadership at every time, to have the right attitude, to be able to have passion. You must have energy. And you must be able to have at the corner of your mind solutions to address daily problems and to see challenges as opportunities as well. So these are the things that I believe that I've picked up along the line. For leadership at the beyond organizational level, at home and everywhere, and at national level, I would expect a leader to be able to communicate well, to be in a position to engage, to be able to listen, to have in the back of his mind accountability, and to be able to work in collaboration as members of the same team, because we can't do it alone. So in summary, I've picked together over 10 different characters that I see in leadership, and I've picked from different people who have mentored me along the line.
The pantheons of leaders.
That's correct.
I think Mandela stands out.
Correct.
Yes, and what would you say that Mandela did that will put him up there as someone that's a global role model for leadership?
Mandela was able to forgive what majority of people say are unforgivable people. So the spirit of forgiveness is part of leadership. But Mandela had something that sets him apart, again, beyond just forgiveness. And that has to do with his agility. He derives strength from the inside. In spite of everything that he has gone through, he had the strength to be able to forgive. And he also showed great level of resilience. He remained focused, he knew where he was going. And he stood by that. He was driven by his imagination and his desire. And he kept on his focus. So I would say agility and resilience. And that helped him in being able to easily forgive those that he needed to forgive and to bring about collaboration and bring whites and black together for the new era in South Africa.
So Mandela was a great success.
Yes.
So how do you define success?
So,
obviously, you too, you are a great success as far as I know. So how do you define success?
I'm still a student of leadership. I'm learning. Success to me is the ability to know that you are not alone and that God is with you. Success to me is the ability to recognize grace. And I don't care what people say, what people refer to as destiny, there's a factor of grace in it, God's own hand. And every time you are able to achieve anything, you must always remember that you didn't do it alone. God has always been there for you, and God has used other people around you as vessels to make things happen. So when you use the word that I'm a success, I think I owe it to God first. I owe it to my supervisors and people who have mentored me, who are hard coaches and who inspired me to say I could do many things I never believed I could do originally. And to the people who support me, people who work with me on a daily basis, people who are the real heroes, that the people who get the things done. I may have inspiration from within, I may have ideas, but if I do not get the collaboration and the support of the people who work with me, I will be nothing. I therefore want to thank and acknowledge the factor of God's grace, the factor of my supervisors, the factor of the people who work with me, and not the least, the factor of my family, who have supported me on a daily basis, because I go through ups and downs. They are there for me. They have supported me, my parents, my wife, my kids. Especially my kids and wife, they actually inspire me on a daily basis.
All right, so you are a businessman, you are a consultant. So just to round up,
yes,
in your opinion,
yes, please.
When is the best time to go into business? Is it at a young age, middle age, or when you are fully matured?
I spent
I'm
like...
not talking about IT.
Yes, I spent like 25 years in core career like Pfizer. If I have to live my life again, I think if anybody spends like 5 to 10 years in career, it's sufficient for you to learn most of the basic things. Thereafter, it's nice to actually set up like an entrepreneur early enough. If you have to stay in career as long as I stayed, it's better to actually start a business sideways, which I didn't do. I only started business after I left Pfizer. So one must always know that to start as an entrepreneur in the early part of life is the best. And what you do, not the number of hours that you are, not the period you are at work in a career. What you do during your weekend, what you do with your spare 3 to 5 hours each day that you are awake can make a big difference. And you can build a giant firm. And so we want to encourage every single person in the university today who are undergraduate university to actually start entrepreneurship. So I'm a president-elect for Entrepreneurs Organization. And it's my desire that every single student in Nigeria will start some form of entrepreneurial work, even when they are undergraduate. So even if they end up in career, that idea, that thing they are passionate about, and they have idea, they be building it sideways. So one day they will still live their career on retirement or for one reason or the other. They should be able to have something that is bigger, that they can rely on without necessarily depending on ordinary pension and go. And that is the way to go for us to address unemployment in our nation. We should support government in every way.
So I think in summary, it's better to, the earlier you started, the better. It's always good to start at
It's
a
better.
young time.
It's better.
Like Mark Zuckerberg started at around 24.
Correct.
Even,
like Apple, Steve Jobs,
at the age of 21 or even 18.
Bill Gates,
and
and
your mind.
correct.
So it's always good to start.
You can add more value. You make mistakes, you can correct it early enough, and then create a giant that can be listed in the New York Stock Exchange and cross the trillion mark, like these people have done.
Right. So just one more thing that.
That's all. To be one word, it will be resilience. Show resilience. Resilience, resilience, resilience. Never lose hope. Continue to learn from your failures by failing forward. Continue to learn to see opportunities in challenges. And so don't say Nigeria does not have the tool. What are the opportunities that those things that Nigeria does not have? What has it provided? If electricity is a major problem in Nigeria, that's an opportunity to actually go into solar energy and make money out of it. If the quality of education is dropping, that's an opportunity to set up an institution that provides high quality education, practical oriented education, not just an educational system that teaches theory. Everything that is not working is a big opportunity. I mean, because what entrepreneurs do is to actually look at the society and provide solutions to it. I think once we wear entrepreneurial mindset, it requires a mindset shift. And so we are going to the digital world, and the mindset is critical. So let's embrace digital economy and use it as a way to solve life's problem. Nigeria has great potential, and our potential should not be dwarfed by what the media are emphasizing. The media should actually be emphasizing the opportunities that exist in over 200 million people, rather than the challenges that are society. Those challenges are there, but they are big opportunities for us to be able to transform the way Singapore has been transformed and the way other countries of the world have been transformed. Correct. Correct. And they saw that challenge of being a data to bring in solutions that turn things right. And they have huge foreign direct investment to that small country of 6 million people. So our people are one of the greatest, is one of the greatest assets that Nigeria has. And our people have creativity, and they are succeeding wherever they've been able to go. I mean, business school Netherlands in Nigeria is among the best of the business school Netherlands locations in about 60 countries worldwide. And it's manned by Nigerians. So for me, we have everything that it takes to make our country succeed. And we must help government, support them, inspire them, support them with ideas. Because at times, you can't give what you don't have. And there are people who might possibly be in government and they do not have everything. Nobody has everything. So by supporting them, by giving them ideas, not criticism every day. When we criticize, we must bring solutions along with it as well. That's the way we can take our country to a new level and ensure that our children, who we are supposed to inspire, are willing to take the mantle and take Nigeria to another new level within their own generation of leadership.
So the key word today has been
resilience, resilience, resilience. And that's why BSN is celebrating resilience after 30 years of existence.
Right, so before we round up, you are an alumni member of the book writing clinic.
Correct.
You're about to write your book. So, can you tell us a little bit about what inspires you that it's important? Because when you talk about resilience, it's important that you, what I mean about the book is about leaving a legacy.
Correct.
It's about immortality. Correct. The book can get to Buckingham Palace, can get to the White House.
Where you cannot enter.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? Why you want to write a book?
On book writing, I've been exceptionally mentored for over 5 years now by Mr. Paul EBOOK. And he has also subjected me to a number of trainings and has shown me beyond reasonable doubt that one of the best ways to leave a legacy is to write books. I'm committed to writing books, and I'm already putting material together in terms of records, video recordings, which I will translate eventually to physical book. And so, based on the transcripts, which I can now edit to write books. And my desire is to write books on a number of issues, on things that will motivate the young generation to be the best in whatever they do. Write books in business admin area, marketing, strategy, leadership. And I'm already putting together things recorded on audio or video, which will now be transcripted. And then I can edit them and then eventually release as many books as I can through your guidance. So,
well, thank you, LP. The man we like to call LP. Thank you for sharing your wisdom on experience annex.
Thank you, Paul. And I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to share the little I've known. But please remember, I'm a perpetual student. I'm a learner. I'm open to new ideas from everybody, from the audience, to see how I can improve my contribution to the society.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
I have been speaking with Mr. Lere Baale, the CEO, Business School Netherlands, right here in Nigeria, one of the most prestigious postgraduate schools in Nigeria. You say it's a learning center.
Correct.
Okay, and using action learning methodology. If you need world-class MBA or EBA, this will be the best fit. And I believe you have enjoyed doing today's episode of Experience Annex. Until the next episode, have been your host, Paul.
Thank you.